Yes, sir. Round six in the books. Obviously, we should start with the elephant in the room. We didn't have a player show up for a very specific reason. Christopher Yu is out of the tournament.
Yep.
The club came with a statement stating that after his loss yesterday against Fabiano Caruana, he was upset, crumbled his score sheet, but more importantly, he striked
Yep.
one of our videographers.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not something that we condone or allow at the St. Louis Chess Club,
course
and
not.
he's not in tournament anymore.
Yeah, the tournament's permanently marred by what happened. I felt very, very, very sad for Rex and the St. Louis Chess Club for everything they do. Our job
Yeah,
is to make these people heroes.
exactly. Yep.
And they undermine.
We need to make them
themselves.
look good. And
Exactly.
unfortunately, this has
tragic.
been a very sad week for the chess world. Started off with obviously the cheating that happened in Spain, or the presumed cheating that happened in Spain. We don't know. An investigation is pending, and of course, this situation yesterday. Police is involved. Obviously, we're not going to go in too many details. Everything is.
I don't know anything further than what was said anyway. We were over there in Clayton, and St.
Yeah.
Louis is the World Chess Hall of Fame is the Central West End.
Yeah.
But it's just a tragedy for our chess world.
Absolutely. There's been some articles. I think the St. Louis Police Department, in fact, did mention that this was a fourth-degree assault. So obviously,
Ouch.
bad news. But let's talk chess.
Please.
Now that that's out of the way, let's talk chess. What happened in round six?
Well, let's start with the good news. I mean, I feel like it's Groundhog Day. Carissa Yip, fantastic, just amazing. Sixth victory in a row. But again, sometimes she's kind of getting gifted points right out of the opening. Tatev forgot her prep. She's supposed to include the move b5 before taking on g7. She takes on g7, then follows up with b5, and now the knight has the e7 square. And thank you very much. She's lost out of the
Completely
opening.
lost.
Just
At move
gone.
10, she had an hour and 30 minutes when she was doing all of these things, including b5, because she thought that she's still within theory.
Right.
Once Carissa started thinking, she played this move knight to e7. I think that's when she realized this is it.
Something's
I was not supposed to allow that
wrong.
knight back to e7.
Exactly. So Carissa goes 6-0. A lot of the ladies, by the way, we saw 4 wins. Begum was very fortunate. Megan could have won. She would have been on a 3-0 tear. Irina Crush picks up a point, importantly.
In fact, in a very
lot-
easy fashion.
Yeah.
She dominated out of the opening,
She
no
did.
problems. Got a pawn, got
Bishop
a second
takes-
pawn.
B7, yeah. And Alice Lee came on with an interview with Anastasia, and Alice said, well, let's be frank, I'm 2 points behind. I need to finish in the top 2 so I can qualify for the World Cup. So let's not forget that this is a qualification for the World Cup, and yes, the fight for second is intense.
Look, we're not going to give it to Carissa as of right now.
I don't
not
know.
just yet, but
6.
she's 2 points ahead.
That's
With
huge.
5 rounds to go, and
Right.
she's been winning every single game. It's very difficult for us to see her lose 2 games. Everybody, or at least one of the players, winning all of their games,
Right.
and then losing a tiebreaks, because she still would go on to play a tiebreaks. It's a very tough situation for everybody else. Carissa Yip is in a great golden opportunity. In fact, she could potentially even get the Bobby Fischer prize, $64,000, if she scores 11 out of 11.
That's what we're all looking at, and wow, a $64,000 prize would be
Insane.
I'd say just a congratulations in case.
To put it in perspective, hasn't been done since the inception of this prize,
Right.
since the inception of the St. Louis
Exactly.
Chess Club, and since we
Right.
started organizing the US Championships.
Exactly.
Open section.
Right. Fabulous. 3 words. Fabulous. Fabi.
Yeah.
He just looks unstoppable. He's playing marvelous chess. He just completely outplayed Grigory, who was undefeated. By the way, it's not easy to win against Grigory, and he did it in a technical manner, which was really wow.
2 players
Like,
that know each other very well. Obviously,
Wow.
Grigory has helped Fabiano in his preparation during
trainer,
the candidates in the last
sure.
cycle. He's very often traveling with him as well as one of his
Absolutely.
trainers.
They know each other.
They
very
know each
well.
other extremely well.
Right.
And to my point in that regard, he played the gioco piano. Just to give you kind of a backstory to that, they've analyzed the gioco piano with each other and played training games with each other.
I'm sure.
I think
lots
they
of
played
blitz.
1,000
Yes.
training games, 1,000 blitz games in
Gotcha.
the gioco piano. Fabi
Yeah.
decides to go for the gioco piano, and then Grigori responds with this H6 followed by A3. Describe to us this sequence.
That was really hilarious. I have a hard time. That's depth on a different level because normally speaking, in the opening, almost all moves are exclusively geared to controlling the center.
Yes.
H6 is covering the G5 square.
And sometimes you want to go
A3.
G5 as black.
Yeah, sometimes, and that is a good point. A3 is almost exclusively so that I can maintain the bishop. After knight A5, I've given my bishop A2 square.
Yes.
But it looks incredibly peculiar. They were both looking for a fresh position. Why reveal your deepest, best kept secrets? So they get a fresh position, and then this judgment of what was a bad looking bishop suddenly becomes a dominant bishop, and that was an incredible judgment by Fabi.
That
I
truly
thought that
is
was
one
amazing.
of one of his strengths, recognizing in
Yeah.
a position in which us,
scale.
as myself, let's say, a 2500
Decent grandmasters,
grandmaster,
come on,
right?
yeah, right.
I look at that position and I don't understand, with that beautiful knight on d6, potentially land on d6, it feels like, in fact, black could be better
Clear.
playing against the light square bishop. But he understood that the pawn on f6 allows this maneuver all the time. Bishop e2, bishop g4, bishop e6.
Precisely.
Which gives white the advantage. Just an incredible feel for the position.
Agreed. I mean, just sometimes you just got to tip the hat and say, very, very well done. Lanier bounces back. I mean, he's had a very difficult, rough ride for a player who's so hard to beat. He hasn't won a game.
No.
Suddenly, he gets this queen ending. I don't think he was better going into the queen ending initially, but guess what? He outplays Mishra, which is understandable. I mean, Mishra's a great player, but he doesn't have the experience. And queen endings, you just need to play them to understand that oftentimes you need to have a perpetual check.
Yes.
And the move e5, e4 didn't help achieve anything against White's king. He needed to play f4. Anyway, that was impressive. Sam Shankland.
He got
He got a win. He got a win. Sam
did
was
get a
like,
win.
holy cow, what do I got to do?
What do I have to do?
And
Yes.
Ray Robson's king at the end. Actually, it was pretty nice. Sorry to Ray, but it was pretty nice, the various checkmating patterns that Sam's rook and bishops were performing. The king was
Once
stranded on
again,
a5.
Why do people play the French? Is my question to you, yes,
It's
sir.
become popular. I don't understand how the fashion in the openings change, and it changes dramatically. At one time, we didn't see anything but a Berlin.
Yes.
We didn't see anything but a Najdorf. And now suddenly Joko pianos are like the go-to, and suddenly the French defense.
It seems like people are starting to try to avoid the Joko
Joko
piano.
And the Sicilians
And
too
they
dangerous.
play the Sicilian,
It's
maybe.
too
They
dangerous.
play the French.
Right.
Maybe they play the Petrov like Wesley did against Hans.
Okay, that's very clever.
A
Decision.
reshuffling of trends once again, right? It
Yeah.
seems like.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yes, sir. Round 6 in the books. Beautiful. Round 7 tomorrow. Fabi in the lead. Carissa absolutely in the lead, dominating. Great recap. Thanks.
Not at all. I just say every day is an adventure. The U.S. Championships. Let's hope there won't be more adventures in the near future.
Let's
Thank
hope
you.
for a peaceful end to this tournament.
Absolutely, Christian.
See you tomorrow.
Absolutely.